Double beta decay is a radioactive decay process where a nucleus releases two beta rays as a single process. History. The idea of double beta decay was first proposed by Maria Goeppert Mayer in 1935. In 1937, Ettore Majorana theoretically demonstrated that all results of beta decay theory remain unchanged if the neutrino is its own antiparticle, i.e., a Majorana particle. In 1939, Wendell H. Furey proposed if neutrinos are a Majorana particle, double beta decay can proceed without emission of any neutrino, via the process now called the neutrinoless beta decay. In 1930–40, S-parity violation in weak interactions was not known, and consequently calculations showed that neutrinoless double beta decay should be much more likely to occur than ordinary double beta decay. The predicted half-lives were on the order of 10, 15 to 16 years. Efforts to observe the process in laboratory date back to at least 1948, when Edward L. Fireman made the first attempt to measure the half-life of the 124Sn isotope. Radiometric experiments through about 1960 produced negative results, or false positives, not confirmed by later experiments. In 1950, for the first time, the half-life of the 130 Te was measured by geochemical methods to be 1.4 times 10^21 years, reasonably close to the modern value. In 1956, after the Va nature of weak interactions was established, it became clear the half-life of neutrinoless double beta decay would significantly exceed that of ordinary double beta decay. Despite significant progress in experimental techniques in 1960–70s, double beta decay was not observed in a laboratory until the 1980s. Experiments had only been able to establish the lower bound for the half-life, about 10^21 years. On the other hand, geochemical experiments detected double beta decay of 82 She and 128 Te. Double beta decay was first observed in a laboratory in 1987 by the group of Michael Moe at UC Irvine on 82 She. Since then, many experiments have observed ordinary double beta decay in other isotopes. None of those experiments has produced positive results for the neutrinoless process, raising the half-life lower bound to 10^25 years. Geochemical experiments continued through the 1990s, producing positive results for a few more isotopes. Double beta decay is the rarest known kind of radioactive decay. As of 2012, it has been observed for only 12 isotopes, and all have a mean lifetime over 1018 years. Ordinary double beta decay. In double beta decay, 2 neutrons in the nucleus are converted to protons, and 2 electrons and 2 electron antineutrinos are emitted. The process can be thought as a sum of 2 beta- decays. In order for beta decay to be possible, the final nucleus must have a larger binding energy than the original nucleus. For some nuclei, such as germanium-76, the nucleus 1 atomic number higher has a smaller binding energy, preventing single beta decay. However, the nucleus with atomic number 2 higher, selenium-76, has a larger binding energy, so double beta decay is allowed. For some nuclei, the process occurs as conversion of 2 protons to neutrons, emitting 2 electron neutrinos and absorbing 2 orbital electrons. If the mass difference between the parent and daughter atoms is more than 1.022 MeV, C2, another decay is accessible. Capture of 1 orbital electron and emission of 1 positron. When the mass difference is more than 2.044 MeV, C2, emission of 2 positrons is possible. These theoretical decay branches have not been observed. Known double beta decay isotopes. There are 35 naturally occurring isotopes capable of double beta decay. The decay can be observed in practice if the single beta decay is forbidden by energy conservation. This happens for even Z, even N isotopes, which are more stable due to spin coupling, seen by the pairing term in the semi-empirical mass formula. Many isotopes are theoretically expected to double beta decay. In most cases, the double beta decay is so rare that it is nearly impossible to observe against the background. However, the double beta decay of 238U has been measured radiochemically. Two of the nuclides from the table below can also theoretically single beta decay, but this is extremely suppressed and never been observed. 11 isotopes have been experimentally observed undergoing 2-neutrino double beta decay. The table below contains nuclides with the latest experimentally measured half-lives, as of December 2012. Note, in the table above where two errors are specified, the first one is statistical error and the second is systematic neutrinoless double beta decay. The processes described in the previous section are also known as 2-neutrino double beta decay, as 2 neutrinos are emitted. If the neutrino is a Majorana particle, and at least one type of neutrino has non-zero mass, then it is possible for neutrinoless double beta decay to occur. In the simplest theoretical treatment, light neutrino exchange, the two neutrinos annihilate each other, or equivalently, a nucleon absorbs the neutrino emitted by another nucleon. The neutrinos in the above diagram are virtual particles, with only 2 electrons in the final state. The electron's total kinetic energy would be approximately the binding energy difference of the initial and final nuclei. To a very good approximation, the electrons are emitted back to back. The decay rate for this process is approximately given by whereas the two-body phase space factor is the nuclear matrix element, and m-beta beta is the effective Majorana neutrino mass given by in this expression, me is the neutrino masses, and the U are elements of the lepton mixing Pontycorvo-Mackey-Nakagawa-Sakata matrix. Therefore, observing neutrinoless double beta decay, in addition to confirming the Majorana neutrino nature, would give information on the absolute neutrino mass scale, potentially the neutrino mass hierarchy, and Majorana phases in the PMNS matrix. The deep significance of the process stems from the black box theorem, which that observing neutrinoless double beta decay implies at least one neutrino is a Majorana particle, irrespective of whether the process is engendered by neutrino exchange. Numerous experiments have searched for neutrinoless double beta decay. Recent and proposed experiments include completed experiments: Gotthard TPC, Heidelberg, Moscow IGEX NEMO. Experiments currently taking data: Cobra 116 CD in room temperature, CDZNTE crystals, CUORE 130 Te in TeO2 crystals. DCBA, testing a magnetic tracking detector at KEKXO, a 136XE search Gerda, a 76GE detector Camlin Zen, a 136XE search Majorana, using high-purity 76GE p-type point contact detectors XMASS using liquid XE. Proposed future experiments: Candles 48 California in CAF2, at Kamioka Observatory Moon, developing 100 Mo detectors or more, 100 Mo enriched Camu4 crystals at Yang Underground Laboratory LUMINEU, exploring 100 Mo enriched ZNMO04 crystals at LSM, France. Next, a Xenon TPC. Next demo ran and next 100 will run in 2016. SNO+, a liquid scintillator, will study 130 Te Supernova. A NEMO upgrade will study 82 Tin, a 124 SN detector at ENO. Status: early experiments did claim neutrinoless decay, but modern searches have set limits disfavoring those results. Recent published lower bounds for germanium and xenon indicate no sign of neutrinoless decay. Heidelberg-Moscow controversy. Heidelberg-Moscow collaboration initially released limits on neutrinoless beta decay in germanium-76. Then some members claimed detection in 2001. This claim was criticized by outside physicists as well as other members of the collaboration. In 2006, a refined estimate by the same authors stated the half-life was 2.3 times 10^25 years. More sensitive experiments are expected to resolve the controversy. Current results as of 2014, Gerda has reached much lower background, obtaining a half-life limit of 2.1 times 10^25 years with 21.6 kilograms *year exposure. IGE-X and HDM data increase the limit to 3 times 1025 years and rule out detection at high confidence. Searches with 136Xc Camlin Xenon XO200 yielded a limit of 2.6 times 10^25 year. Using the latest nuclear matrix elements, the 136Xc results also disfavor the HM claim.